We need to factor these two problems. And what's different about these is we actually have two variables. So when I look for my GCF, it's going to be something that involves a number and also an X and a Y. If I look at each of these, I have -8, -16, -48. I want to find the greatest common factor. So in other words, the largest number that divides evenly into all those. Now it does say factor out -1 if the leading coefficient is negative. So I do know that I need a negative for that. In fact, -8 is going to be what I'll pull out because that's all of these here. You can divide it by -8 and still get an integer. Now, the most we can pull out is the smallest power of each of the variables. So the lowest power of X would just be X to the first power. The lowest power for Y is going to be Y to the first power. So this is my GCF, -8XY. Then I'm just going to divide everything by that. So in order to get this inside the parentheses, I want to do -8x² y cubed and divide this by -8y. -8s are going to cancel. I get a 1, positive 1 there. X squared divided by x is going to give an x. And then I have a cube, 3 of them minus 1 of them down here. That means I'll have y squared left. Moving on to the middle term, I have -16 x y squared, and we're dividing this by our GCF. -16 divided by -8 is +2. X's are going to cancel out completely. And then I have a 2 minus a 1. That means I'll just have a y left over here for that middle term. Then the very last one, I have -48xy. I want to divide this by -8xy. -48 divided by -8 is +6. X's are going to cancel. The y's are going to cancel. And so this would be fully factored what I have inside the parentheses there. We'll do one more of these kind where we have different variables. So I have a 5, a 30, and a 45. So 5 would go into all those. And then once again, the smallest power of x I have is x to the first. Smallest power of y is y to the first. Now I'm ready to factor it. First term, I have 5x squared y divided by 5xy. The 5s are going to cancel. I have a square divided by an x, which means I just have 1x left over. The y's cancel, so that's all I have there is x for the first term. Next term, we have -30 xy squared divided by 5xy. -30 divided by 5 is going to be -6. The x's are going to cancel out. And I have y squared, we're just really subtracting 1y only, so we'll get 1y left. The very last one, I'm going to take 45xy and divide it by 5xy. 45 divided by 5 is +9. X's cancel, y's cancel. So this is all you're going to have inside. Once again, you can always multiply this back through to make sure you did it correct. You can always do that anytime you factor. You can always just redistribute or multiply it back through to see if you factored it correctly.